Well, she used to have a clapper. Right, now it has definitely stopped. When you hear that noise.
So I always think of that bit in Wayne's World where
Hang on, are we on?
Where they're going, no, you're nodding. Yeah, they're going 3, 2, and they go, no, you're mouthing 3, 2, 1. And they go, okay, we won't mouth it. And they go, and they, no, you're nodding. Can't do it. Just
right. So Domenico Gradia. That's
Yes,
the first time I said your name.
that's correct.
That's your name.
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, before I forget, actually, I've just served you a coffee. I meant to say we was in discussion beforehand because obviously you're a tea. Am I saying sommelier? Tea sommelier.
Yeah.
And we're thinking, is it going to be disrespectful to serve you a coffee? Are you, because you're pro tea, are you anti-coffee?
No. As an Italian, I need to.
Okay.
Even I betrayed, so I have to find an excuse for my, nationals friends. So, obviously, I do have coffee in my place. The coffee machine, the mocha, everything from Italy.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, I ended up to become a tea sommelier. Like one sommelier, now we have a tea sommelier.
Right. So, actually, beforehand, Charles, I was trying to... Is tea, and this is just from knowing nothing, is tea either from China or Ethiopia?
Why Ethiopia?
I don't know.
Ethiopia is
Somebody
coffee.
said
Coffee.
something. Oh, my
Ethiopia
gosh,
is
the wise
coffee.
class.
So China.
Oh, it is China. Is that what you
It's
said?
China. Yeah.
And
well, Wikipedia says so. Yeah.
Well, most people think tea comes from India.
Yeah.
So I would expect more like India more than Ethiopia.
Right.
But anyway.
Yeah.
But Kenya is a grown spot now.
Oh
yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
it's a
For
big producer.
tea.
But recently, after the Second World War.
Kenko.
Yeah, especially for tea bags.
Oh, so that's what it is.
And we'll probably end up discussing tea bags eventually. Yeah.
So Kenko is Kenyan tea?
Yeah.
The Kenyan tea.
Yes.
Oh, so we're drinking Kenyan tea today?
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sachets.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so that's quite civilised. Nice little thing there. So how did you get involved with that? Why did you jump to tea?
Actually, it's quite a fine story, to be honest. But I don't want to be too much talked about my story or to bore you. Anyway, everything began with my passion for Anglo-Saxon culture, word.
Oh, really?
So I started to study English languages since in my high school, even earlier, and was an increasing for this love for this country, to be honest.
Yeah. Really?
So I ended up for tea. I was during my university studies in Sicily. I'm from the southern of Italy. Okay. The name of the region is Calabria.
Oh, yeah.
Which is not Colombia. So Calabria is a Colombia. No, Colombia is different. It's Calabria.
It's a bit further away.
Sicily, sure. So, mafia, good food. But now, I think things have changed, hopefully. But... yes, so I was having my master degrees, so I had to choose a topic for my dissertation work. So I went to my history professor, say, look, I would do something, unique. I have to find an excuse to tell my parents, listen, I need to go to London to look for my bibliography, because in Italy, so I need something, innovative, experimental. I don't want something like an English poet or writer, which I do love, of course, but something more. I say, okay. So after a week, I met him again, and he handed a list, like a piece of paper. I say, okay, choose. I opened the list. It was like 5 items, like cocoa, beer, sugar, whiskey, and tea. I say, what do I have to your shopping? Or no, that's your topic. Choose your topic. Oh, really? Yes. You want something innovative, something. So it was about 25 years ago, more or less. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So what caught your attention about it then? Because it'd be one thing to do it, but then to stay with it. What made you? Was it the history of it? Was it?
Yeah, everything connected with the British culture. So I took the opportunity, among all those topics like beer, of course, beer in English, but also Dutch beer, German beer, but typically something English, British, to connect with English literature. Okay. So I was tea. So I started to look for tea, to search for tea. I moved to London. I was supposed to be 3 months, and then I ended up 4 years. for my bibliography and.
So what's so
All research, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you drink a lot of tea, or was that me being silly?
But in the morning, because especially when depends. But yeah, when at home, usually yes.
So you like tea?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you do.
Absolutely.
It would be a bit weird if you didn't. I
No, I
feel.
thought
You know what I mean?
it's not just a profession. I mean, it's like you've just fallen into it because it pays. You like tea. That's
I
part
like
of it.
tea in terms of taste. I like the liquor, but I also associate tea with the health benefits.
Right, okay.
So I don't drink too much black tea with milk, to be honest. Okay. So my usual beverage in the morning is matcha. So
What's that?
Japanese green tea, powder green
right,
tea.
yeah, yeah.
So it's the best in terms of amino acid.
Right.
It has the highest concentration of amino acid, especially of the L-theanine. I don't know if you heard of it. Actually, in the sports sector, they use L-theanine and caffeine together, the tablets, because L-theanine is something into the tea leaves.
Yeah.
So that's, especially the Japanese green teas has a concentration of amino acid. So co-work with the caffeine and boost your brain functions.
Yeah.
So keep you alert while being relaxed. So if you need to pick me up, green tea is the
But
one.
You're not high. Yeah.
So it's mixing uppers and downs
So
at the
obviously,
same time.
before coming
yeah?
here, I had like 3 matcha mocktails to
One
boost
to
my
bring my
energies.
Even you out a bit, yeah.
Yeah. So
So the history of tea, right? For a child's brain, where does Britain come into tea?
well, Britain was the late comer into tea.
Right. Yeah.
So after France, Spain, German, Italy, and at the very end,
Oh, really? So right at the end.
England.
And what was your theory, Charles, about tea? It was used by the British to.
Well, Wikipedia states.
Oh,
Okay, I know I'm lecturing to the expert here, but Wikipedia states that basically it was introduced to India to rival the Chinese monopoly
Yeah,
in
that's
the
correct.
17th century. No,
19th century, so 1800,
So that
Yes.
late.
with the British East India Company.
and sort of there's stuff around Assam
Yeah.
and Darjeeling, and where they were.
Yeah, first Assam, actually. Assam, they want to compete, the Chinese monopoly. Also, the English East India Company at the time was about to go bankrupt because let's not talk about all the wars and this, just be happy. So they had to find other lands because the demand in England was increasing. So they wanted to be independent from China after the Opium War and this and that. So they decided to experiment tea gardens. So the previous colonies in India, so the members of the East India Company, they were told to try the further northeast of India, where the climate is more warm, could be compatible for the Camellia sinensis, which is the scientific or Latin botanical name of the tea plant.
So a tea garden, that means literally where the plants are.
Tea
It's not a
gardens,
cafe.
like flower gardens.
Right,
So
okay.
instead
Oh,
of
tea
planting
garden.
flowers, you
Right.
plant Camellia sinensis plant, so tea plant.
So are tea bags looked down upon, or are there very nice tea bag teas?
Do you like wine or any spirit?
Yeah, but I've got a child's palate, so because I try to get
No,
my,
just to make a comparison,
Right.
just to,
Yeah, no, I'm
to
not
give you
fussy
the
at
idea.
all.
But obviously, tea bags are, mostly, especially when you see 89 pounds, 80 tea bags.
Right.
I don't want to
Right,
name
yeah.
the
Okay.
brand.
Name and shame, yeah.
So, but
But
at
generally-
least think about it. Come on, less than £1, I
Yeah.
can have 80 tea bags. It's no wow.
Right. So he didn't give an answer. He just stated facts about the world. No, okay. And I've also heard somewhere that you never boil tea.
Yeah.
You just take it to the point where it's about to boil.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, that's
Absolutely,
okay.
that's true. Even for black teas.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you drink a lot of tea, Charles?
You know what? I used to be a big tea drinker, and then all of a sudden, I needed bigger and bigger caffeine hits, basically, and I started double bagging. I used
Oh,
2 tea
no,
bags.
really?
Yeah, because I needed that
Yeah.
hit, and I was just chasing the caffeine dragon, and then I was like, why don't I just switch to coffee? I was like, oh yeah, and then I started just drinking coffee, and then now I'm sort of more of a
I've
coffee
never
person.
heard of that. People putting 2 tea bags in.
No, I'm unique, obviously.
Really?
yeah.
That must be quite strong, though. It's like a milkshake. Almost.
It was pretty dark. Yeah,
Pretty
it was a pretty strong colour.
But how much milk do you put in it?
Not too much.
Because, then the taste, or let's say the bitter taste, like they say, would be stronger. Also concentrate of caffeine, but also the taste, you need to put some more milk.
So in like China or the Asian countries, do they also put milk in? Was that an English thing?
Yes.
No,
I'm curious. No,
No, I was going to say, I think it's more of a sort of English thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very much so, because fascinating fact. Sorry.
Like
for instance, if you go around Europe, travel around Europe particularly, I'm a hello, stupid Englishman. Good afternoon. All right. Oh, very nice place you got here. Doing all that, and I'm like, can I get a cup of tea, please? And then they bring out the thing, and it's the tea bag. Into water, and I'm like, have you got any milk? And they're like,
oh no, they're looking like a child.
No, what? Or do you want a bib with that as well?
Yeah, I always thought it's a bit like pathetic.
Well, it is, and I know that this is for coffee, but I know, for instance, the Dutch word for coffee is coffee with black. That means black coffee. The word for coffee with milk translates to wrong coffee.
Really?
Because again they look down at this means wrong coffee because you're doing it wrong basically.
So do you drink tea now? I've never seen you with a cup of tea.
Very occasionally.
Yeah.
If it's late.
But have you ever tried green tea or matcha, for example?
I tried a lot. I was drinking a lot of mint tea when I was in Morocco.
Okay, Morocco mint.
Sort of the mint tea.
Okay, that's good.
Really fresh, really nice, really, really good.
Good for digestion as well.
Yeah, no, it's lovely. Lovely stuff. Breakfast. They do these wonderful French continental breakfasts out there. And when I was in India as well, drinking a lot of chai and stuff in like shot glasses. So it was like half sugar, half.
But the only green tea you drank was Moroccan mint. That's all.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you don't know green tea?
I have tried a bit of green. I tried it in England.
I bought some from Holland and Barrett.
Yeah.
So we can say you haven't tried the real green tea.
I haven't tried the real.
Okay, good.
So what would be your entry level good green tea and brand?
Let's say Chinese. Let's start with the Chinese. China has produced all the 6 types of teas. I don't know if you knew that. There are 6 types of tea.
6 types?
Yeah. Also listed with the colors sometimes. We have the white tea. Probably you know the white tea.
I've heard of it, yeah.
The yellow tea. Have you heard of it?
No. So what's that? That's just the colour. It's not it's nothing specific.
Yeah, it's like green tea, but has additional step for producing the yellow tea. So it's more laborious.
Yeah.
You need to be skillful. So it's not really common. They still produce, but yellow because was the preferred tea as a tribute to Chinese emperors in the past.
Yeah.
So yellow was also the color of China, for example. Not really for the liquor color of the yellow teas. And so especially nowadays, if a Chinese give you some yellow tea, means that you are a very important person for them.
And if they put milk in it, it's kind of disrespect.
No, please.
They want to serve an English
but milk, as you said, Charles,
Yeah.
is a British traditions.
And is there any other countries that
with black teas, not with other kind of teas?
Are there any other countries tea more popular than in England? Or
I can't say.
No.
Because we are in England, we are in London. Well, I mean, no. Turkey is the record of drinking. The per capita, was drinkers per capita, Turkish people.
Okay.
So it used to be also UK first, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Like Ireland. Ireland is, more than England or Scotland, for example. Yeah. So,
I'm a bit embarrassed that the English put milk in there because I was thinking, I didn't know. I thought that.
But why are you embarrassed? Because we're talking about usually tea bags and black teas, so it's normal, to put milk. It's like a tradition that started by chance. Let's say milk was something that started in the, let's say, when they become popular around the 19th century. So the servants used to put milk in first, and then the big debate, milk in first or milk after, whatever. Just to prevent from the mag, it was not a good quality for the servants to have mag with to put the boil water. So they used to put the milk in first to prevent from cracking, right? And also later on, also for the Indian teas, Assam, they were strong. So was an habit to put milk, probably for more proteins, whatever, or for this, and then they got used to the taste of the kappa, the British kappa. British kappa is with what is actually the tea bags, black tea bags, and milk. if you really have, if you really must put some milk or sugar. No.
Yeah, I was just about to say, when does sugar rear its head in tea? Is that an English thing as well?
Sugar was tea was very expensive at the beginning. So they used also in the paintings. There are a lot of there used to be the sugar bowls. So that was a status for that family that was very wealthy. So they could also afford the sugar.
Oh right.
So. Yes, but now let's say it's something really personal. If you want milk, if you want sugar, depends if you want a strong brewing, so you keep to steep longer, 3-4 minutes, or you put 2 tea bags, whatever.
But is it still an English?
As far as we talk about tea bags, as far as we switch, so to the other, the loose leaf teas, things change.
Okay, so it's to do with
dramatically, I would say.
That's where the real
we
stuff
need a
is.
timer. We need fresh filter water. We need a lot of things.
You're going to get scientific. Then,
So when did tea arrive in England?
England was let's say tea arrived in Europe in 1610.
Right. Okay.
By the Dutch in England was with. After the marriage with the King Charles II with the Infanta Caterina of Braganza, was it 1664? The wedding.
I'm going to nod and say yes. Okay.
The Portuguese were the first to have a posting trade in Macau, in Hong Kong. And so they were the first to be introduced to tea.
Right.
It is the only country in Europe where tea is said cha. Because at the time, in 1500, in Macau, Hong Kong, tea was said cha instead of tu te in Xiamen, in the other trading post where the British used to have a trading post. In the Mani dialect, tea was said te. Right. So they took not only the tea, but also the word. So from tea, whatever.
Oh, right.
So usually they say it's tea via sea and cha via land, except for the Portuguese. I would say.
Yeah, because it used to be cup of char. That was English Cockney, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I just realised, the char lady.
So you can say both.
And chai as well. Chai is sort of Indian.
Chai, yes, from India, so by land.
So in an average day, tea and coffee, what do you drink?
No, tea, absolutely.
Tea.
I don't drink coffee. I drink coffee as like I drink alcohol to socialize. Or just if I want to, to have a stronger feeling of my past Italian experience. So I say, okay, let's make, coffee the Italian way.
And do you have various teas at home then, depending on how you're feeling? Like you get very specific, like if you want to calm, if it's at night.
Yeah.
So a morning tea would be a green tea.
Yeah, green tea for sure. I just have dark teas to try, actually, to test new teas, but I'm talking about, usually high grade of black teas. Right. So, or oolongs, dark oolongs, which are really nice. Oolongs tea are semi-oxidized, whereas white tea are not oxidized, as well as the green teas. And dark tea are fully oxidized. So it's the manufacturing process that they make white tea, or also the type of the tea leaves, a lot of things.
So obviously, at a certain point at night, you shouldn't have coffee. Is there a cut-off point for tea, or can you have a late night tea because of the caffeine and things?
Well, it depends, on the person. For example, there's some people say, I can't drink coffee after 2 o'clock because I can't sleep in the night. So if you get my point.
Okay.
So depends on the effects that the coffee or tea have on you and your taste. That's important, I think.
I knew somebody who the coffee would put them to sleep.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
doctor said it stimulates the part of the brain that puts you to sleep.
I can have a cup of coffee and go to sleep. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, I've got some relatives in Italy. They have coffee after dinner as well.
Yeah.
And they can
Just
sleep.
relax. So how many coffees do you have a day, Charles?
More than I
and
more than typically.
Is it certain coffees will make you tired?
Just
If
if I'm
pointless having a coffee then, surely.
if I'm tired, well, it's like having coffee sometimes.
Oh,
I mean, if I'm tired, like I will just fall asleep. Sometimes I literally fall asleep with I have a cup of coffee and go bed.
Oh, really?
So what kind of tea do coffee do you drink? It's
The cheapest,
Just
nastiest stuff.
again. Okay.
Not even for Sainsbury's.
He's not paid to be on the show, so
If I knew before, I would have brought some, Irish tea, Irish blend, which is the strongest. Irish are granted to
Irish tea?
to have a strong palate, so they like strong teas, and they created the Irish blend or Irish tea to make the tea strong.
right. So if we were sort of round your house, 7:00, we've just had dinner, we've relaxed. What tea do you bring out? Like, what's the tea the big hitter that you bring out?
Well, I also have to, it's
a dinner party, it's your best
It's
stuff.
a dinner party, so will be you feel stuffed with food and this.
Yeah.
Well, so in this case, I would choose like a very, very nice tea, probably not very known so far. It's the pure tea. Have you heard? It's the sixth type, the last one. So we have the white tea, yellow, green, oolong. The French, they call it blue because of the white leaves, have this nuance of bluish, greenish, darkish. And then we have a black tea and then pure or post-fermented. Pure teas are from China, from Yunnan province. And they still have this treat in the Chinese household on Sundays, after lunch, to help to digest your digestion.
Okay.
So pure teas are the best for this. So it's not, sorry to interrupt you. It's not the light, you don't need light things because after, having eaten, you need something more firm, more structure, to feel satisfied, not white tea, you know what I mean? So I would say pure teas.
So black tea, where's that from?
Black tea is the first black tea actually. I don't know if you heard, probably yes, the Lapsang Souchong.
Rings a bell, I don't know why.
Have you heard of this Lapsang Souchong? No. It's a smoky tea from China. Yeah. So Chinese was the first also to create, let's say, the black teas, starting from Lapsang Souchong.
And why is it black? I mean, I know it's black, but why is it? Is it just what comes from the leaves is black? It's not like...
It depends on the type of the leaves that you use, depends on oxidation process.
Oh, right, I see. Okay.
So, for example, to make a white tea, they pluck a certain varietal of tea plants with the buds, big leaves, and they just pluck the sun withering, indoor withering, and final drying. That's all.
Oh, so it's to do the process.
To make black teas, you need to pluck the tea leaves, to sometimes some withering, then you have to roll the tea leaves because you need, to release the juice to react with the air and start the oxidation process. Okay. Same oxidation when you peel an apple. What's happened? After 1 minute, 2 minutes, they start. It starts to get darker and darker. Okay. Even the leaves of a flower, if you squeeze with your fingers, there is a dark line. That's the oxidation. There is an enzyme that reacts with the oxygen and gets darker and darker, and that's why it's black. Otherwise, green tea is the most delicate, so they have to hurry. They have to pluck the teas, go to the processing area. Usually, especially for green teas, are attached to the plantation because they have to hurry to put in this wok in China, for example, to kill the germs. They say so. With the heat, they prevent any oxidation. That's why it's green.
Yeah. Oh, so it's all to do with the process. That's quite interesting, like how it's processed, how quickly, and things. You can make your own tea, grow your own tea leaves, could you, in England?
There is a plantation in England, isn't
Really?
there? Yes, there is one.
Where?
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember the name?
It's the Trigothin estate.
Trigothin.
Oh, well done, Charles.
Yeah, and not just a coat rack.
But it's also Scotland. Scotland is also famous now.
Yeah.
Tea now is produced in about 70 countries. Can you believe it? Obviously, the biggest producers are China and Premiums. Then we have India. Then we have Ceylon, Sri Lanka, which is Ceylon actually,
There is no Ceylon.
and Kenya. Japan as well, and Kenya.
And what about in the Latin countries? Is tea still too far behind?
Yeah, it's in
Oh,
Tuscany actually. Tuscany, where good ones also. That comes from one of the areas. So there was a tea plantation in Tuscany.
So when you were with the monks, famous story of Charles, with the monks, what were they drinking?
They were drinking. They drank a lot. They were Tibetan, so they were drinking a lot of Tibetan tea. Which
Did you have some?
Yes, it's made with yak's milk.
But the monks were.
These are Buddhist monks living in northern India.
Ah, okay.
So in the
Yeah.
Himalayas.
So they were putting milk in.
Yes, they were putting a bit of yak's milk.
Did you taste it?
Yes.
How did it taste?
I like the Tibetan people and have a lot of respect for their culture. food and drink is not one of their strong
Really?
points. And they're
just
very
the monks?
hospitable. They're very hospitable people, and they always come out. And, you give all this
Sure,
elaborate thing. And
it
you
was
just
a
have to
healthy food and drink.
Yeah. You have to sit and drink it and go, lovely.
So what were you eating that wasn't?
Tibetan bread and Tibetan butter.
But that's just because you were at the monastery. That's not them as a people.
Yeah, but I chilled with lots of family.
Oh, okay.
I met lots of families, and people are very polite, so they invite you to their house,
Yeah.
and
And you were eating what, bread and?
bread and butter and sort of stuff. It's
But that's English bread and butter, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it
I mean, they're a
Yeah.
bit poor, so I mean they don't
India-
have a lot. So you know.
Okay.
But it's a lot of yak products, and I mean, have you ever seen
Making
it?
the most. Of
Have you ever seen a yak?
The sounds of the yak products is not really nice.
Yeah, if you've ever seen a yak,
We changed the word.
Yes,
Yeah.
yak product.
if you've ever seen a yak, then you just think, well, I'm not
Okay,
sure I want to eat anything that's come from that. Really,
Have you
But,
ever been to Japan?
I have not. No.
Because
like to,
tea
yeah.
was introduced in Japan by the monks actually
Okay.
after China in 9th century.
Oh.
Yeah.
You mentioned the bread and butter thing. So is that an English thing then? Bread and butter? 'Cause what
Yeah.
Tradition. I mean, with bread
yeah.
as a snack. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just
Oh, I
like
didn't
breaded
realise that was-
butter. Is
because I haven't travelled much, so I've only got sort of television that's outside of TV. So, yeah, I suppose if you went to an Italian restaurant, they don't give you butter with bread, do they?
Yeah, because the bread, it's also
It's quite disrespectful to the bread. If
really
it's good,
good.
bread.
So you don't need the butter, just
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
that's
it's like it's like the old adage, the old thing. If you ask for sauce before trying the food, you try the
Right,
food
yeah.
and then ask for salt
or
and pepper.
to add butter. We don't usually cook with butter, especially in the south.
Yeah.
We cook with extra virgin olive oil, which obviously I have in London.
So it would be like asking for ketchup if you in a restaurant.
Yes, it's good.
Oh, it's garçon ketchup.
Well, I've also seen some people eating spaghetti with ketchup. So
That's almost-
but that sauce is the concept is it's tomato sauce. Italian sauce is made with the tomato,
Yeah.
so it's good.
It's not
So
sugar
it's
and-
tomatoes, yeah.
It's not like that.
I wonder what else I'm missing. So bread and butter. Yeah, you've been quite disrespectful. So I feel bad now because I have had butter in restaurants and I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, it's all good. Just do whatever you want.
Yeah, I still want to make sure.
It's 21st century Britain. Just do whatever
I
you
only
want.
really found out. Oh, so I didn't know you know Emma Dupont. Emma Dupont, the etiquette. The
Absolutely, I've just.
she's in a magazine.
Oh yeah, oh yes. Actually, I heard good things
Yeah,
of you.
she's
by the
fantastic.
way.
She is amazing. Like she is fantastic.
I just had a text message from her yesterday because
okay.
I told her, you know what, I'm going to, Vialucci, media program, and say, oh really?
She lives. So I've known her for many years. When I was trying to put the magazine together, and nobody from the etiquette and deportment societies, they didn't even answer emails. Like they were very
bit rude, were they? Yeah,
a bit rude.
Yeah,
to
to
the
people.
point where I would then email from saying I was from somewhere else, and they'd get straight back to me. And I'm thinking, but you're the teachers of you disrespectful you are. There was even one woman that I heard on the radio talking about it. I thought, oh, she sounds quite nice teaching etiquette and all that. and then like contact her through LinkedIn or something like that. And her email was just like a little bit rude. Didn't even say hello. And I thought, why are you? So when I met Emma, and she was at the start of the magazine when I had nothing, and since day one, she's been polite and dignified. And there's been problems with the magazine and all that. And she's just like a calm boat, just rode every problem. So she's fantastic. I've always said that she lives.
She's amazing.
She walks the walk.
And I collaborate. I'm lucky enough to collaborate with her. By the way, yesterday it was her birthday.
Oh no! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Well, I don't think she's on Facebook. So that's the only time you find out when somebody's birthday is when it pops up.
Yes.
That's the one thing I miss about not having Facebook.
Right, yeah. You're not on any social media. No. At all? No. There's nothing of you online?
No.
So you go live on Facebook, you don't have Facebook?
No, I don't.
Oh, it's the same.
We do, yeah. But that's the thing. I'll be honest, I hate any sort of social media. But it's like the walls closed in on you if you could do a business where you now have to. It's not a choice. You have to do it.
I understand the feeling.
But professionally,
but I escape not to have Facebook by creating Instagram and Twitter because I know they are linked.
That's enough now.
With the link, no, it's just a kind of analysis. To have more views. This, but also I need to know these things also.
Yeah, it's right.
And so they're linked with the Twitter, LinkedIn. So you need also to post on Twitter and for the algorithm and this and that. It's oh my God, it's
it's a whole thing, isn't it?
Have a cup of tea and relax.
So you're not on. You haven't got any profile of anything online. You're not on LinkedIn, are you?
No.
You're like the kid in Terminator 2. What's his name?
Sean Connery.
Yeah, with the Terminator
completely off the grid. Yeah.
So I like that. I admire that. I think more people should do that.
Yeah. I've got a Twitter, but I haven't done anything with it yet. I've got a profile page, but I haven't.
Right.
I did it, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to do that." And then I'm like,
"What for?"
The first thing I was going to do was just be rude to famous people, but then I was like, "Do I want to do that? Like, this is supposed to be my professional account, I was thinking, this is like my personal professional account." And then the first thing I was like, "Oh, I'm going to call Nigel Farage a twat." Let's say he should just flush himself down the toilet or something weird. And like I was just like, "Do I want to do that though?" And I was like, So yeah. I had a cup of coffee and chilled out. I went to sleep.
That's cool.
You always find out about one thing, like social media thing, and then something else pops up and you find out you're 5 years behind and now you've got to do this other thing. So I think Instagram's the main one now, isn't it? That's sort of taken over in terms of popularity. I think that's the growing one. Facebook, everybody's turning against it.
It's all fashion, isn't it?
It's just quicker because now we are in a world in an era where we like to visualize. We are too lazy to read.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So you need more pictures. You need more. So Instagram, you publish the pictures or little video. Yeah. So that's So
there was a guy I was listening to recently, quite popular in America, and he was saying, we don't read anymore. We just don't. Yeah. He said, "Do you know?" He said, when you're doing a video or anything like that, you're what do they call the picture, Peter? Just the picture rather than a thumbnail.
Oh, yes. Picture. Oh, my God.
He said the picture is much more important than even the thing you're describing in the heading. He said they're not even really bothered about the heading anymore. It's just what the eyes see.
Unfortunately.
He said it's hard to get your head around. He said, just put a photograph. That's more important.
The amount of YouTube videos I've clicked on today, it's got a pretty girl on it. And I'm just like, where did the pretty girl go? It's just some dude talking about politics. Yeah. Like, nuts to that.
Where'd the pretty girl go?
And he starts scanning up down the bar going, where the hell is she?
Because some of the YouTube videos, I was listening to this podcast talking about tech, they were saying what people are doing now, companies, to get around the fact that you can't really promote things like, say you were against Obama or whatever, so you can't be on like a computer a channel, a YouTube channel, saying certain things because people switch off. What they've got now is, like, people play games online, and they have a pretty girl playing the game and everyone watches. They're paying them to play the game and then just bring up the thing of, did anybody see Obama? They're getting paid. That's how they're weaseling in information to even on like Twitch and things
Yeah,
like that, where people
yeah.
just play games. They're now being paid to halfway through your show just start talking about.
Start going, start fearing right wing all of a sudden. It's like,
You just can't trust nothing. Like everyone's for sale.
I try to publish, to have good, nice pictures of tea, we're brewing and this and that. Hopefully, to
Yeah, you work with Fortnum Mason, or you did?
Yeah, at the moment. I used to work for Fortnum Mason, but for 3 years. Then went to Japan. I had I felt enlightened by the Japanese culture,
Really?
Kyoto area. Yeah. So I went back to London. I brought my resignation and say, why are you leaving it? Because I want to spread, the message, on my own. So, but I think, I'm very grateful also to them because I'm still working for them as a freelancer now.
And what is it you do for them?
I'm the trainer executive for the Diamond and Jubilee salon. So tea training for the staff, tea service, and also history, because people love history. Yeah. Every tea almost has a history behind. So just to be. So
the people there are trained to know about the stuff. They're not just selling it. They have to know about the background of it. We're
talking about the Diamond Jubilee salon where the afternoon tea is delivered. Right. Obviously, there's on the ground floor where you can purchase your tea. So there are people knowledgeable about tea, but most of the time, sometimes for the new, let's say, employees, you need to train them because they don't know tea. They even don't know that peppermint tea, it's not really tea. Or chamomile tea is not really a tea.
Okay.
Right, okay. So let's start there. Yeah. So why is it not?
These silly people who
don't. Yes. Why is not? Because it's a tisane. It's a herbal infusions. Peppermint. It's not the Camellia sinensis tea plant. Oh, okay. So tea contains caffeine as well amino acid antioxidant. So chamomile tea, it's calming. Shrub. Planted used to digest as well, and for calming. It contains calming properties, but it's not tea. It doesn't contain caffeine or amino acid, but especially caffeine.
So it doesn't come from a tea leaf.
That's correct.
And peppermint doesn't.
We say tea instead of tisane. Okay, so everything that is that undergo to a brewing process, they call tea.
Right.
Okay. But it's not.
But they shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
Is there a tea leaf behind that?
Yeah. So we call the herbals or tisanes. Depends. So that's important.
So if I was to in any shop and I flick around the back of the box and I want to know if it's a tea or not, what will it say? Will it say tea? Will it say green leaf?
Well, blend is yes. I mean, usually when you turn around this box, it should be a blended tea, blended. So with the different types of tea, like Assam or Ceylon or cumin from China or Kenyan from Kenya.
So if I spin peppermint round, will it say tea on the back?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
It could be displayed tea on the. Tea on the tea bags, just a peppermint tea, but not in the ingredients. Absolutely not.
I'm going to be checking that out.
Yes,
it says on the front, but doesn't say it on the back.
But the Moroccan mint, it's green tea plus peppermint.
Oh,
so if you like peppermint, why don't you have Moroccan mint? That's what I also recommend to customers sometimes, or what I say to the staff to recommend it to customer. So and to try new teas and new things.
So have you worked with Emma Dupont yet?
Yes.
Oh, you have.
Yes.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Her name, because she taught me that you don't eat pasta with a spoon.
Oh, it was a post on recently in Liguria.
I didn't realise. And I thought,
which I replied actually. I remember.
So I'm annoyed again.
Yes,
that
she said
know.
It's just for the kids, God. But you know what? I didn't say I didn't say to her that I didn't,
See, 'cause
but I do. I eat spaghetti with spoon just only when I'm dressed up for my tie
Right.
to prevent from
that's class.
So
That's
in this case, you can do that.
Yeah.
So to help to rotate the fork, to wrap the spaghetti.
That's good, because if I'm doing it in the
so
future,
it's a good.
I'm going to say.
Otherwise, you just get covered in it, don't you?
If somebody says,
Like a baby.
I'm using this to stop myself getting dirty. That's what it is.
Because I do get dirty very easily.
I used to have a mate, and he just used to eat with his hands all the
Oh,
time.
come on.
No, come on.
Yeah, and he's like,
You live on the streets.
Wait, you say chicken in Italy, you have to eat with the hands.
What?
The chicken, yeah. Because the queen, Margherita of Savoia, she was credited to eat chicken with fingers, and there was also a saying in Italian, compared with this queen, our queen, whatever, the previous one, to eat this chicken with fingers. So you're allowed actually to eat.
Do you do it or not? Do you do it?
But I'm talking about the legs, not the breast. And
Right,
this,
yeah,
of course, right?
That's a
So
big lump,
because
yeah.
yes, the
Right.
chicken in
Big
this
lump of roast
sense,
chicken,
know.
yeah.
So
See, that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the things I don't know, and I'm making a fool of myself. Like, that annoyed me when I found about the spoon thing. I thought, oh, for God's sake. The bread, I'm not asking for no more butter. I'm doing that. I'm getting rid of that.
just you don't have. I mean, etiquette. As long as you're not eating with your hands like some kind of caveman. I mean,
But how was your friend eating spaghetti with his hands?
very messily. It was.
But how does that
It used to
look?
make me feel. I remember there several times I was just like, dude, it's actually making me feel sick watching you.
But how do you do that? Was he like rolling it? Or
No, he was just grabbing handfuls.
What are you talking about?
they don't want hot
just going,
that much to
smearing
burn
it.
his fingers or her fingers.
Oh, it was a him, definitely. I mean, that's not
Okay,
wrong.
okay,
Yeah.
That's one of the worst things I've ever heard. I don't know what that would look like.
Yeah,
That's like something
just-
out of the zoo or something. Do
I
you
suppose
still know
just-
him?
Yeah, it's good, mate. Yeah. He stopped doing it so much because he did it in front of a lady. He invited a lady round once. This is a couple of years or two ago. I'm not going to say his name, but he's, good.
Yeah.
He's a really top bloke. He invited a lady around a couple of years ago, and he started doing it. And she's just like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "Oh," and he's just like, "Oh yeah, knife and fork," and he sort of held them weird, obviously.
What does he do for a job? Like, I want to know what the rest of his life is like.
No, he's got a full time. Well,
So
he's
let
works.
me
He
know
works.
how
He's
you
got a
eat.
job.
I'll tell you what you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
No, he's doing well. He's doing well. He's thriving.
Has he got a job?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
He's still doing that. I saw him the other day and we had some pizza. He ate a bit with his hands, but I mean, it was pizza. So,
Pizza
you
you
know.
can eat with your fingers.
Oh, so pizza,
but
yeah.
you needed to cut with a knife.
Yeah.
Or
Oh, yeah.
we have just a roller blade, something.
Yeah.
Just circle, so you can cut in 4
In a
pieces.
restaurant, I
Yeah.
could eat with my hands pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Actually, it's more normal to eat pizza with your hand.
What do you drink
Okay.
with a meal? Do you always having tea, or do you just water?
No, never.
No.
But you talk about
You,
me or
yeah.
in general?
You.
In Italy. No, me. No, depends.
Okay.
Depends the timing I'm eating.
Right, I see.
Depends what I'm eating. And then teas, depends if I'm in a tea house where the teas are
Right.
good quality. But if just in a restaurants, I don't even see the
don't
look
even
to the tea list menu. Unless I hear, they have good teas,
Yeah.
then I get very curious. I want to try and I start to assess and to compare and, it's,
Are there any,
using that sophisticated palate. Yeah.
is there anywhere in London, if someone wanted to go, there's like a tea house where you could go and try different good teas?
sometimes they do. It depends on it's a seasonal.
Right, okay.
They do some promotions on the day or for a week. For example, at Fortnum, sometimes on the ground floor they have a steam pack machine.
In Fortnum Mason.
I don't know if you ever heard of a steam pack machine. No. They with the steam, the water is boiled.
Yeah.
There's some chambers that they do. You can schedule the temperature. There is a filtration also system for the water, and you can manage. Is really wow. It's a computer actually. So,
Oh wow. Okay.
so steeping time, everything, the temperature, and and brew the cheese.
And that's in Fortnum Mason.
Yeah, sometimes they offer, for this week, let's say, I don't know, Lapsam Souchong or the 40s. The following week they change.
Right.
Also to engage with the customer to sell the teas.
So I haven't been to Fortnum Mason. So there's a restaurant area or a cafe area or whatever you call it.
It's on the ground floor,
Just
retail
on the
store.
floor.
There is this steam pack machine just close to in front of the tea section, actually.
When was the last time you had a tea, Charles?
A tea?
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, I think. About 3-4 weeks ago.
What about?
Huh? Oh, I don't know. Just for like lunch or whatever. I think my aunt made me one.
Okay,
and, and it was from a tea bag. And it was.
So I have an
it was fine.
escafoti to cheer you up, because tea is like to cuddling.
Yeah. It was it's
That's-
a loving family thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
So what we learned about tea, you don't boil it. It's
Yeah.
not tea unless it says tea on the back.
But you know why? Sorry to interrupt. You know why don't boil the water? You know the reason why?
It diminishes the taste, maybe.
Oh, Peter? Damage the leaves?
Yes, could do, especially if you pour directly on
Scald
the leaves.
the-
It's just for the oxygen, because you lose the oxygen, when you boil water. Evaporates.
So
the
you
oxygen.
want the oxygen
So the
in
water the tea will be dull, the
Right,
taste.
yeah.
So without oxygen. And
Right.
oxygen, that's why when I do some tea testing, anytime I do tea testing, actually, I ask people, now you need, please do me a favor, you need to slurp. Really? It's not polite. Yes, here it's polite because we're in a tea testing session. So you need to slurp like a because you have to intake
The oil.
oxygen like the wine. Or to rotate with your tongue and palate.
To sort of get the oxygen.
And then
circulating.
tongue and palate, because you can taste all the hints, the floral notes or the fruity notes
And
or
you need
whatever.
the oxygen for that.
I need oxygen. That's why we decant, especially good red wine tea. You decant for an hour or so before drinking. You put in a decanter jug. I don't know if you...
No.
Now you need to go to Italy or France or Spain or yes, the vinegar.
That's a good tip, though. It's about the oxygen, don't boil it, 'cause you need
the oxygen.
makes it. Yeah, that makes sense. Stirring doesn't really matter, does it? Stirring tea doesn't matter.
Yeah. Also stirring, like they say when you stir the tea with the teaspoon, usually you go up and down. You do circular, because up and down you also prevent from no make noise. Especially if you're having afternoon tea, to follow the etiquette. I know very well, but also to melt properly. So it's north and south or up and down.
Yeah.
So you break the water.
Right.
You put more oxygen. Or when I pour tea from a teapot, I usually have a longer like this with a drop.
Oh, you do a drop pour?
Yes. But it's not just because it's show, but it's important to put more oxygen into the cup and transfer your love and into the cup as well. So to have a amazing experience.
People get into that with beers as well, sort of real ales and stuff. People get into
Of
all
course,
this stuff.
yes. But the effects are different.
I feel a lot more. In fact, they used to say about Oscar Wilde. I was going to say that he didn't make you feel dumb when you was around him. He said you always walked away feeling like you knew more. And I think today, I've walked away thinking I knew a lot more than when I walked in here today. So sort of like Oscar Wilde of teas.
Oscar Wilde of teas.
Yeah. No, but that's really fascinating, and I'm big on, like, you've taught me a lot there in different ways. So what are you up to now with tea? Anything going on? What have you got coming up?
Oh no, I'm collaborating with the UK Tea Academy as a tutor as well. So I deliver tea training courses, especially for hospitality.
Yeah.
I've been also recently in Scotland last July to deliver some tea training for luxury resorts. I collaborated with the Charles Tea Company as well, which Dan Rock is a real excellent tea lover, very knowledgeable, and we get on well with him, and also in terms of taste and teas, and find out more varietals or testing.
Will there one day be a sort of Gradia tea company, a specific tea line or anything?
To be honest, no, I'm not that ambitious. No, not ambitious. It's not what I want to.
You just want to teach the history.
As far as far I can, spread the message, as you said, the word, and as far I have a dream. Well, I'm living my dream now, but I have, let's say, a dream in terms of a vision. In the future, when my aim will be to have in the educational, actually, in Britain, the subject, the history of tea. Yeah. They don't have, it's their own culture, to be honest. Yeah. I'm very upset with that. So I'm trying to contact colleges or hospitality management. They do everything from management, service, coffee, but not tea.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
Why?
Right. So especially in this country,
So it should be something also for children, for younger students, not only for professionals. So that's British tradition.
Yeah. And stuff like the British East India Company is fascinating. I mean, that is exciting. Yeah. There's boring history and there's cool, exciting history, and that's definitely cool, exciting history.
Tea makes made the fortune of a nation. Britain.
Yeah.
So behind the kappa, there is a fortune. There is. Sometimes they ask, people, especially foreigners or Italians or Spanish, why English is the most spoken language, and I say because of tea. Because in the end of the day, British is the company, like as well as the West is the company for the West Indies, the sugar, slavery, whatever, and also in East they had the monopoly they ruled the seas for over 150,000 years.
Oh. So I'm going to sound stupid, but it's fine because you have to ask the basic questions. So the Tea Party, that was to do with tea, wasn't
1773.
it? So what's the story there? What's the political thing there with the tea company?
The Boston Tea Party, yes.
Boston Tea Party, yeah.
But it was just a reaction from the new Americans, let's say, as a rebellion to go against the mother countries because they refused to pay taxes on tea.
Oh.
Because tea was actually the first product to be taxed, actually.
Oh, okay.
Tea.
Really?
It was also the first product, like tea, coffee, and sugar, to be advertised for the first time in history at the Garraway's coffee shop in 1657.
So sort of, I mean, in that sense, sort of the history of tea is almost a sort of history of modern capitalism, modern economics.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because it really you can chart the progress and the trade and expansion, and that is literally charting the expansion of a global economy. Yeah,
according to the history, the capitalism history, it was in the 15th century that we started with the modern capitalism. With the Spanish, Portuguese, Spanish. Also the center of the trade was first Spain, then Portugal, and then Rotterdam, Dutch, Holland, and then England, London. When with the East India Company took over, the Dutch defeated the Dutch. Right. So for 150 years they ruled the seas. That's why we speak English. This most spoken English because of tea. But I can't explain all this story, just to understand why. Because of tea. Why? It's a long story.
And with the Portuguese, they were the big shipping merchants, weren't they?
No, yes.
No. Oh, so it would really the Portuguese spread it around West.
But the Portuguese, like the others, but especially Portuguese or Latin countries, they used to go in this Far East also to Christianize, for religious.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So to spread, the Catholicism and
they took tea with tea back.
That's the excuse, but then they take the rest.
When did the tea bag pop up then? What year? When was that?
Tea bag was, let's say, with the 20th century, so the third decade of the 20th century.
Oh, it goes that far back. England? Were we the first?
No, actually, it was an American, Thomas Sullivan, was created these tea bags to put more tea into the tea bags, also to create these tea bags.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it was a way to send samples to potential customers, and then they found out, wow, that's good, way, to to contain the teas, to steep the teas, to brew the teas, and then that's why Kenyan teas was booming after the Second World War for teas.
And it's a bit easier, isn't it? You don't have to know about brewing, and you don't have to have a teapot or a thing in a tray in a sieve. It's a self-contained. It's like an instant coffee. It's a self-contained
as far as the tea bags and yes.
I know. It's if you've ever taken one apart, I mean, genuinely, if you've ever taken one
you
apart,
are allowed to everything.
No,
if you use a tea bag.
Well, it's garbage. I mean,
What is it?
It's dust, isn't it? It's just like blended. It's blended powder, isn't it? It's like the lowest grade stuff you can get.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There are also obviously tea bags, like especially the pyramid shapes.
Yeah.
In silky, in more sustainable forms. No plastic. No, that's which are good now. Especially who don't have too much time in the morning to have like a half hour time of his tea time.
Yeah.
But I'm in a hurry. I need coffee, like Italians. Okay, done. Let's go. A single espresso.
So if you have to have a tea, have a tea bag, but try.
But you need to be loose leaf into these pyramid tea bags, which are not loose leaf any longer. If you put it, why? Why not tea bags? First of all, don't choose a paper or a plastic or whatever tea bags because they are dangerous. Also, they absorb catechins, especially the paper tea bags. Catechins are the antioxidant or polyphenols, which are the same thing. Let's say. Okay. When you talk about polyphenols, it's the same. Talk about catechins, antioxidant. So the paper tea bags absorb most of the catechins while brewing. Also this reason is important. But loose leaf, it's the best because tea needs to have space to develop its own full flavor, and also that's why you need space. Also the strainer you put in the teapot. Sometimes I see some teapots a cone shape. Oh, come on, cone shape. It's like a triangle upside down. So the loose leaf tea is restrained in that.
It's just going to get all bunged up at the bottom.
So it's better to have like a cylinder. Larger. The larger, the better. Because
more surface area.
These little things, filter water, temperature, and this make the difference.
That's good. Yeah, so it's
not that easy.
To breathe,
as long as far as the tea is a good quality loose leaf tea.
Yeah. That's been very fascinating. I've learnt a lot there. Charles, you've been more enlightened.
Oh, very much.
I'm going to be a bit of a snob now when I'm out and about with people that I know. It's like, that teapot, the shape of that teapot.
Yeah.
So up and down, north and south, not round and round.
Yes.
And what's that butter with that bread?
Yeah. Get it out of me.
No, thank you very much for coming on the show. That was really enlightening.
That's been really interesting.
Thank you so much indeed.
He's got his button. Oh, he's ready to go. Oh, he's turned us off. No, we're still recording.
We're still recording? Okay, well, let's say goodbye then.
Right, so goodbye, everybody. Thank you very much.
Have a good day. Thanks for listening. Cheers.
Ciao.
Ciao, bella.
Ciao, bella.